It is, what day is it today? It's
The
what is it
fifth.
today?
The fifth.
Monday, the 5th, right? So anyways, thank you for being here tonight. We are doing these Zooms for a lot of reasons, these lives to teach and educate you because we struggle with our belly fat, we struggle with snacking, we struggle with all these things in our life, like our hormones, especially as women. I mean, men, well, they have their problems too, but mostly with us. And a lot of times we end up blaming ourselves for doing this. And tonight we're going to show you that this is not your fault. There's a lot of things that are working against us. And if you've been struggling, pay good attention tonight. Take some notes if you want to. We are going to show you how to stop the struggle and stop blaming yourself with all the things that you're going through. I mean, a lot of times we're doing everything right. We're eating clean, we're exercising, and we still can't get rid of that excess fat. And a lot of times it has to do with the part in our lives we're in as we're over 55. Our hormones change, but there's more to it. And it is hormone related because insulin is a hormone. So tonight we're going to talk about insulin resistance and how we can reverse insulin resistance and become insulin sensitive again. So we're going to jump right into that tonight. So thank you for being here. We've got a couple of ladies here, and maybe the gentleman's going to join us, my husband. We'll see if he comes on. But we have some incredible stories to share with you tonight. And so we're going to get to those shortly. But first, I want to share my screen here and share a little bit about my story. I'm 65 now. I too have been on this journey of struggling. I've been very active all my life. I'm a runner. I've done 10 marathons, very active, but all of a sudden my life changed too. And I've been a health coach for over 25 years, teaching people how to eat right, how to exercise. And I used to myself tell people, eat 3 meals a day and then snack during the day, especially if you're going to go do a big workout, because that's what I was taught this profession. And then when I learned about insulin resistance, I realized, and I really feel bad that I said a lot of these things wrong. I was teaching people the wrong thing and we'll show you in a minute. But first of all, my life went haywire when my mom got cancer. This was a very devastating time in my life, and I'm going to share her picture here for a minute. My beautiful mom, she had gotten psoriasis, which is one of the big signs of insulin resistance. It usually shows up on your skin first. She had psoriasis. A lot of times it can be skin tags, but she ended up being diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And it was devastating to me. And I was her main caretaker. I was living in Michigan at the time. She's in Canada. So I was driving back and forth all those hours. And at the same time, I was also going through a divorce. So bang, boom. I mean, everything all at one time. It was devastating for me. And I ended up blowing up. I put on all kinds of weight. And by the way, I like to say this, I wish I would have known what I know now back then when this happened to my mom, because maybe she'd still be with us. But this is what happened to me, and it's embarrassing to show it, but I'm going to show it. I blew up. This picture on the right here, I'm busting out everywhere. I don't have these big boobs or anything, but look at I'm busting out of my shirt. It's like I was embarrassed.
Oh,
And you
no.
can see this picture of me running here. I had all this belly fat everywhere. And someone that's that active, you don't think you would look like that. It was definitely insulin resistance. And I had a very good friend of mine reach out to me. He was also a coach, and he brought up the insulin resistance things to me. And whew, I didn't even know what that was. When I heard the word insulin, I thought it was all to do with diabetes and stuff. I did not know what it was. So anyways, the protocol that we're going to teach you tonight and what I did to lose 25 pounds and 4 dress sizes in inches in 90 days, we're going to teach you that tonight. And I did that using the protocol we're going to talk about this evening. 2 simple tools we're going to teach you that will get your metabolic health back in order. And if you have weight to lose, it's going to come off. I mean, I can't believe what happened to me. So let's really address insulin resistance. We'll get right down to the meat here. I want you to take a look at this wheel. First of all, 93% of American adults are metabolically unhealthy. It starts with skin tags, belly fat. Look at this circle here and see if you can relate to any of them. And maybe this here more. We have some written out. If you're going to the bathroom all night long, you're constantly hungry, you have cravings. I was crazy like that. I keep this in my desk here to remind myself. I'm not so much sweet person, although I like everything. But this was my go-to. Cheetos and potato chips. I was constantly snacking. I used to run to the store to grab something that you needed for the day, like maybe a bag of coffee or something. And I would leave with snacks every single time. And I would, in the car, I'd open them up and I'd have them eaten before I even got home. So talk about cravings. I'm sure we can all relate to that. The belly fat, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, fatty liver. For women, they get PCOS. Men get, erectile dysfunction, low testosterone. There's just a whole thing. And kind of look at this here. You can see what may be affecting you. All these things are signs of insulin resistance. And this was a shocking thing I saw in the New York Post that 9 out of 10 of the top diseases are lifestyle related, and preventable. So we're going to show you that today. So here's what's causing it. And this was a big eye opener for me, which I talked about earlier, that I used to tell people to eat 3 meals a day and snack too. Well, this is our modern diet dilemma. We get up in the morning and we have breakfast. And what breakfast really stands for, what I've learned, is it means breaking your fast. Because our parents and our grandparents, I can guarantee you, they did not get up in the morning and start eating a bowl of, cornflakes with cereal, like with fruit on it, which the food industry put on, told us brainwashes that this is what we need, right? So they went out and probably did chores first and then came in around before noon and sat down and had their first meal. Well, that is what breakfast stands for, breaking your fast. And instead of eating first thing in the morning when you get up, a high fructose, high glucose meal like cereal, which is all, going to jack up our blood sugar. Then I'll go when we have a snack, then we have coffee. And do we use a teaspoon of creamer? No, we pour the cream in. I know that yourself, right? Um, and then, we have lunch and then, we have another snack at 2 in the afternoon. Then we have another snack in the afternoon before dinner. And then dinner we eat. And then we have usually more snacks in the evening while we're watching TV. What we are doing is we are jacking up our blood sugar all day long. Our glucose is high, which of course keeps our insulin elevated. And our insulin all day long is fighting to come back down, but it can't because we're snacking all the time. That's one dilemma. The second dilemma, what we've done is we've removed fiber from our foods. Everything is processed, everything is modified. In this example, if you look at an apple, I mean, you guys help me with apples can you eat before you're full? Like 1, 2, 3 apples? I mean, I know if I ate 3 apples, I'd be stuffed. Where if you make apple juice, they remove the fiber, all they do is juice it, and that probably takes 10 apples to make a glass of apple juice. Same with oranges, but we can probably drink 2 or 3 glasses of that. I'm guilty of this. I used to send my kids to school in the morning with orange juice or apple juice, and then at lunchtime they got it again. And then, of course, with the processed foods, look at this rice here. All the fiber's been removed. Even sugar is wrapped in fiber. Sugar cane, it's wrapped in fiber. We remove that and we eat pure carbohydrates. So here's what that will lead to. If you're constantly eating and snacking all day, we end up becoming pre-diabetic. And this came off the CDC in 2022. The numbers have changed much higher. 84.1 million people were pre-diabetic, and 9 out of 10 of them didn't even know it. I was one of those. Okay. When you're pre-diabetic for an extended period of time, it could be 5, 10 years. All of a sudden, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says to you, guess what? You're diabetic. You need insulin, which is the worst thing. I won't even go there right now. but 30.3 million people have diabetes in this country. And that's about 1 out of 10. So if you have 10 friends gathered, 1 out of 10 of those friends is diabetic. And 1 out of 4 of them don't know it till they, start having symptoms where they go to the doctor and they end up finding they're diabetic. And people go, why'd this happen? Well, you know why. We just showed you. And what is the solution? Medical profession gives you these solutions. Statins, metformin, Ozempic, surgery, all these injections. We don't need those. Okay. We're going to show you a natural solution that's going to do this, start reducing your meal frequency. This is big. I got this book here. It's from Dr. Jason Fung, The Diabetes Code. I highly recommend you get it and go through it. He did a study at the University of Toronto where he took type 2 diabetics and within 3 to 6 months had them totally off their medications. Why? By reducing meal frequency. We're going to talk about that today. And I know a lot of people have a lot of times, hard times with intermittent fasting because they get hungry, they get headaches. We're going to show you a tool today that will get away with that. You don't have to worry about it anymore. We're going to address this, and we're going to also address putting fiber back into your life because it's been stripped from everywhere. A lot of people go, oh, I don't like the taste of fiber. Well, that's why the food industry has removed it. But the importance of fiber is incredible. Fiber is your friend. It helps keep your blood sugar controlled and it helps you with weight management. And what you see is stout. These are all the things that can prevent by putting fiber back into your life. It controls your blood sugar, protects your heart. Heart disease is the #1 killer worldwide. It helps maintain digestive health, IBS, leaky gut syndrome. Your brain is directly attached to your gut health. So if your gut health is bad, your mental health is bad too. The two are, we call them the two brains. So we can help with that when you put fiber back in your life. And then, of course, one of the biggest problems we have right now these days, not just with adults, but children, is obesity. And when you introduce fiber back in your life, you can't eat as much. And we're going to show you how to do that just a moment. So before I do that, and we're going to go back to that in a moment, I'd like to introduce this wonderful now friend, Debbie, who I'm so feel blessed to have met through this. She has quite a journey to share with you. And I'm going to just turn it over to you. Tell us your journey and what's happened with you. Go ahead, Debbie.
Well, first I'll start off with thank you, Monica, for doing this and for being involved in this company. My name is Debbie. I'm 55 years old. And long story short, at age 53, I was diagnosed with triple negative invasive lobular breast cancer. Before that, there was no reason for me to get that. So it was a shock when I was diagnosed. I thought I was healthy. Blood work was good. As far as the doctor said, I was not obese. Thought I was doing everything right. So it rocked my world when I was diagnosed. I did the chemo. I had to do the chemo to have my bilateral mastectomy because I did have a breast augmentation and I wanted that gone. They would not do that surgery unless I did chemo. So I did the chemo. I had the surgery in November 2023. And then after the drains were removed, I was supposed to do another 1.5 years of chemo and 45 rounds of radiation. And I declined. And they did not like that. But I knew the chemo was mercury. It was not good for me. And I'd always been kind of on this health journey. And so I said, I'm going to figure it out for myself. So I still struggled for 1.5 years until May 2025 when I called my girlfriend and out of the blue. And because I lost hope, I was like, I had the fear of cancer coming back. Am I doing enough to stay healthy? Because I didn't get the no evidence of disease from the doctors because I left treatment. So they just wouldn't even tell me. And so a side note, if you're had cancer, heart attack, or stroke, guess what? You can't get life insurance policies. So that was one of the things that I was like, have this thing on my medical records forever. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it's up to me. So I still did what I needed to do. I thought I was hiking, eating right, and I still was not getting results. I still had the brain fog. I couldn't lose weight. I had the inflammation, all the things. And so I called Carolyn Clark and she just said what she was doing because she was struggling too. And I said, I need it. I just need it. I mean, I already have the death thing over my head. What do I have to lose? We've all done the diet trends, the this, that, and the other. I've done it all. So I got it. And within 1 to 3 days, as I was hiking 12 miles a day in Arizona, I saw results. My inflammation down. I could make a fist. Before I couldn't make a fist because I was so inflamed. So I could make a fist. The brain fog was gone. I had hope again. I had mental clarity again. That was huge for me. If I was not introduced to this system May 2025, I probably would not be here right now. I would not be talking to you because I was stuck in this hole of no hope. I just didn't have the will really to live. I mean, I wasn't going to do anything stupid, but I just was stuck. I wasn't depressed, but I was just stuck. So since May 2025, I've lost 30 pounds. Inflammation's gone. I feel like I'm in my 20s and it's amazing. So
Well,
the
Debbie, why don't
biggest,
you talk a little bit about these pictures here because um that's pretty incredible what you've gone through.
so
Pretty
in the bathing
emotional.
suit, that was my breast augmentation. That was in 1993. I was a topless dancer in Las Vegas. So I had to look a certain way. They did weigh us before we went into the club and worked. Um, and that was me actually at work one night. That was my hair. And then, yeah, in 2023, look at no hair. And now I have gray hair. You guys can see the difference. I had that long hair for most of my life. So my boobs are gone. And then I also had to have a full hysterectomy and I have gray hair. So my identity has been pretty much wiped from me as I was for a long time. And so it was a big deal. So I still struggle with that. And so I needed something for mental clarity, something for hope, something that I knew would help my metabolic health. So I would not go down that road again. I don't have to count calories anymore. I don't have to worry about having, I mean, yes, cancer could come back, whatever, but guess what? That's just life. We're all going to die one day, whatever. But I'm not worried about it so much because before, again, I was not sick. There was no reason for me to know that I had cancer. And I was stage 3 at the time I was diagnosed. I had no idea. So today, do I know? I don't know, but I'm here. The doctors put death over me. My doctors told me I was going to die. My radiologist, who I never saw, my oncologist, my my general doctor, and my surgeon. 4 doctors telling you you're going to die. That is pretty depressing.
Well, yes, more
You
than
know,
depressing. It's like,
and
yeah,
and
I
so and
mean,
how can they can't even say that, but they did because they wanted me to do their chemo, and I'm like, I'm not doing it, and because triple negative invasive lobular breast cancer is very rare. It's a very aggressive cancer, and there's only one treatment. That's it. If you do that treatment, that's it. Suzanne Summers, nobody knows what kind of cancer she had. Shannon Doherty from 90210, they won't say the kind of cancer she had. They just say breast cancer now. They don't even say the name because there's so many different cancers. And the doctors don't know. I mean, they're practicing, I respect for what they are, but they're practicing medicine. Cancer, I mean, does really anybody know where it came from? No. Insulin resistance, I found, is a precursor. I was worked in that environment of smoke for over 20 years, night hours, not sleeping during the day and working at night is awful for your body. And the stress of the club working, it was a stressful environment. And that can cause insulin resistance. It doesn't matter how well you eat. It doesn't matter. Again, I was in shape. I worked out. I did everything right. And I still got it. So no one is, I could say, not going to get, I mean, anybody can get it. It's not discriminatory. It doesn't matter. So
right.
now I'm doing it. So like right now, this is my bottle.
Yeah, mine
I
here.
I drink I drink 2 to 3 of these a day. And
Hmm.
then I have 2 to 3 of these a day. Why? Because I'm a breast cancer survivor and I know this is food for my body. and I'm helping my body. I'm 55. I feel fabulous, and I'm on a
You look
mission.
fabulous too, Debbie.
Thank you.
You're the ever ready bunny.
Yeah.
You'd never,
So
you'd never know you've been through what you've been through. I'm just telling you, you're incredible
thank you.
inspiration.
So the biggest thing is, I think, the hope. We all need hope, and mental stability of your mental state is important for kids today, for adults today. I mean, look at the state of our country. There's so much mental illness. And why? Well, I would say overprocessed food and all the sugar. We're,
Well, exactly. Remember what we said earlier? It's gut health is
yeah.
directly attached to here. So
So I'm thankful and grateful, and I'll forever drink this until my last breath. I mean, it's
I,
food.
I'm with you.
Anybody can drink this. It's for anybody, even children, parents, adults, kids, whatever. Kids can have this. Kids should not be obese today.
Yeah, agreed. And we're going to go into the products shortly after. Thank you, Debbie. We'll
Thank
call
you.
on you again a little bit later. Don't go away.
Okay.
Now, I want to introduce also that she's also become a friend and she lives here in Colorado, close to us. Jennifer, you've been through an amazing transformation and you also have an incredible story. Don't miss any part of it. We want to hear it.
That's a lot of pressure.
Okay, you'll do fine.
Okay, we're ready.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me, Monica. Yes, you've become a true friend and a great mentor throughout this. I guess since August is when I started this, end of August, beginning of September, when I started this journey. But no, it's been a blast, but I've been through a lot to get here for sure. How I knew about the product, my boyfriend actually knew that I was kind of at a plateau in my weight journey and my health journey. I had a lot of back pain most of my life, my adult life. I've had chronic back pain due to, having large breasts and it came down. My mom had them, my grandma had them, so we just lived with them. But it really hit home. I was 34 years old when I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. And so had to go in, get the grapefruit-sized tumor removed out of my colon, and some of my colon was removed. And then the doc said I had a little bit of cancer, so they had to put me in that chemo for 6 months. And so I was going through chemo. And during chemo, they get you on all those different medications, steroids, all those different things. And you think chemo, you lose weight. Well, you may lose weight while you're sick. But after you're done with treatment, and thank God, I came out cancer-free and still cancer-free to this day. I was 34 years old when I was diagnosed with that stage 3 colon cancer. But I feel like it had a lot to do with that insulin resistance. It was hard for me most of my life to lose weight. I struggled throughout my whole life. But really, really hit home when I was diagnosed with that cancer. And after that, shortly after that, of course, you have to try to lose that weight. I tried everything, every bit of it. I did fasting. Fasting worked. That ended up working for me. I didn't add the fiber to my diet and didn't really know about the fiber thing until this year. And once I found out about this product, my goodness, it's been great. I'm a lifer for sure. But
Well, I'm
I've been
sharing your
through.
picture. I'm sharing your
Thank
picture
you.
right now.
Thank you.
But
Yes.
you went through some other
Yes, I
problems.
have. I
Yeah.
have. Back in 2019 to my ex-husband packed up his car, decided to leave. So I was stuck with a lot of responsibilities. I had 2 children still in high school I had to support. And at the time he left me, I was about 315 pounds. Um, Pretty heavy. It was pretty heavy. And I was out there shoveling that snow in my driveway. It was the day after he left, and I just hit rock bottom. That was rock bottom for me. Even cancer diagnosis wasn't rock bottom. This was rock bottom. I was feeling horrible about myself. I had a lot of back pain. He just left for another woman. So of course that makes you feel a certain kind of way as well. And so I decided on that snowy driveway as I'm shoveling that snow and feeling miserable that I was going to do something about my life, career-wise, health-wise for my children. I wanted them to see me succeed in all areas. I didn't want this to be the end for me. So I did research. I started um, researching fasting, and fasting did work, but I had hit some plateaus. And so I went to go see my primary care doctor, and they put me on some medications, of course, the diet drugs. Started off with pills. It did work for a little bit, but then as soon as I stopped, the weight would just come right back on again. So you have to constantly be on it. They ended up putting me on the GLP-1 injection, and I was on it for a few months, but felt horrible the whole time. Had everything that everybody described, hair loss, intestinal issues. I mean, it was bad. It's just the worst thing that I have ever been on. Yes, I was losing weight, but I was feeling awful. So I was letting my boyfriend know a little bit about the struggles and stuff, and he found this product and introduced me to it. I started on the product, and since the end of August, beginning of September, I've lost 65 pounds.
Oh, you look fantastic. You look
Thank
these
you.
pictures. You look incredible.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And I feel wonderful. It's been fantastic. And all the people I've met while I'm doing this has been fantastic. The support system, the training program. I mean, everything's been amazing.
Awesome. Well, you're a walking billboard,
Thank you.
you
And
know,
I feel
and
great.
it's nice that you're also sharing this with people now. It's hard not to. So congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. What
Well,
an
thank you,
incredible.
Monica, for all your help. And Mary, I need to also, I don't know if she's on this call or now, but Mary
No,
has been
she's not.
great. I wanted to put her name in there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
for
Monica.
sharing. And don't go away if you can stay because we're gonna end up and everybody could chat a little bit
Great.
before we finish up. So thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
I'm gonna get back to, I mean, everybody's wondering, like, what are we using? We are using these two incredible tools um, that have the stories you've heard. It's changing our lives. There's now 1 million people that have been exposed to this protocol, 1 million people that have clinical studies come back from the results they've gotten. So we can't stop talking about it because this is changing lives by making these small little changes. This is food. It's not a drug. It's not an injection. Anybody can use it. So let me kind of go through what the protocol is because I'm very thankful that we've all found it, obviously. But the first thing is putting the fiber. We talked about this a little earlier, putting fiber back into our life. It's hard to do. It's hard to have a salad before each meal, especially if you're out running around, depending on your work. You know, if you really had to get all the fiber that you need to eat, you'd have to eat so many vegetables and stuff that it's just impossible, especially with our food environment. So we have something that's a solution that will put this fiber back in. And I forgot to put it up here, but it's not fiber like a Metamucil or a Benefiber. Those are fibers that are fantastic to help you go to the bathroom. This fiber here that we're talking about has been has had clinical studies done by the Cleveland Clinic. This is the #1 heart hospital in the world because they were looking for something that would get people off statin drugs. This fiber will help do that. Okay. There's also the University of Sydney. They're actually they invented the glycemic index, and they proved that with this fiber, you can, if taken once or twice a day, you can reduce 28% blood glucose levels. It blocks it with the foods that you're taking in. So it helps keep the blood sugar down, which is remarkable. These are, and there's more, there's 30 clinical studies out there right now. The other place this fiber is listed in is in the physician's desk reference, PDR. The physician's desk reference is a doctor's Bible. Everything is listed in there. You know, if they give you a drug or a prescription of some kind, they can look it up in there and it shows what's in it, what it does, and all the side effects. And if you were to go onto the physician's desk reference and look up, let's say, Ozempic, you'd be shocked. There's like probably 77 pages of side effects related to that drug. Well, we're very fortunate. Both the products we're talking about, the fiber and also the drink that we're sipping on here, all of us, the other second tool, both of these are in the physician's desk reference. The reason being, they've had the clinical studies. They're validated. So that gives a lot of confidence. I actually took this to my doctor when I got started because he was ready to put me on a statin. Thank goodness I never did it. Never had to get on a statin. It's been over 3 years. So let's talk about this fiber. This is more than just a fiber. It's called Balance. It's a pre-meal drink. It's formulated to provide crucial fiber support. There's 7 fibers in this. 4 of them are patented. Nobody can copy this. Okay. And to give you an idea of what it does, it helps with keeping you satiated. So all you do with this fiber, you just mix it with water, 4 to 6 ounces of water before you eat and chug it like a beer and eat your meal. It's that simple. It helps keep your gut health in good because there's 7 fibers in there, helps your microbiome. And actually, the Cleveland Clinic wrote this. This is what the study they did. They said such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and dose for lipid-lowering prescription drugs. This is huge. And this is a food anybody can use, as we have young children as old as 9 years old that already have fatty liver that are on this protocol. Okay, so that's the fiber. And to give you an idea of what it looks like when you take this fiber and what it does in your system, you can see on the left, without the balance, without this fiber, when you eat something, you've got elevated insulin and you have a blood sugar spike. And what happens, and we've all had this, you eat something and then you just want to crash and lay down on the couch and sleep. We've all had that. I used to think it was because my body was digesting food. No, it was because of the crash, blood sugar crash. And that when you hit that crash down there, not only do you get tired, but you also want to snack. And if you look on the right here, when you take this fiber, you can see the difference. You're not going to have that elevated insulin. Your insulin's going to stay low and you're not going to have that crash. And like it shows down here, there's over 30 clinical studies on this, scientifically validating what this fiber does. It's patented, it's plant-based. So, even vegans can use it. It's halal, kosher, and gluten-free. Anybody can use this. So that's on the fiber. And you mix this with 4 to 6 ounces of water. Just take it before your biggest meal. Easy peasy. I carry these in my purse everywhere I go, and I have a very small purse. So let's go to the next here. Does anybody want to add anything on the fiber before we go to the next thing that they've noticed with the fiber?
I'll say something.
Go for it, Debbie.
So I went on a cruise, and you know how cruises are. There's a huge buffet, food all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And before I went, so I was like, do I really want to go there? I was like, yeah, I'm on a cruise. I'm going to take advantage. Even if I'm not hungry, I want to eat. So I took a balance every time before I went to the buffet. I did not gain a pound. I did not gain a pound. And not to get weird, my bowels didn't change. And usually when you travel, your bowels get all screwed up. And I don't know how your system knows that you're traveling. I was regular. I didn't gain a pound and I had regular bowels. So this stuff is a lifesaver. Your gut is important.
Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so that's the fiber. Okay, the other thing we have here is this, what we're sipping on. It's called Unamate. It comes from South America. It's an amazing plant. People down there have been drinking it for hundreds of years. This is a purified version. They took the best components and purified them and put them together, and they come in different flavors. But when you use this, you drink it when you're in your fasted state. Remember, I was talking earlier about people when they're fasting, they sometimes have issues where they get headaches or they're hungry, they're angry. This eliminates it totally. So let me share my screen here. show you the Unimate. I love this. I can drink so much of this. I probably drink more than 3 a day, some days more. But it makes fasting easier. So it helps, with feeling better. Remember, we talked about gut health and mental health. This is a feel good. So when you're sipping on this, you just feel great. When I sip on this in the morning, I take it with to me to the gym if I go to the gym. And remember, I talked about being a runner before. I don't have to eat all these meals and all these snacks before I go running. I just sip on the Unimate and I'm good to go. So it helps enhance your workout. It supports well-being, helps you with your mental being more cognitive. Here's a big thing. It helps your body naturally. We were talking about injections. Jennifer talked about being on injections. This here helps your body produce natural GLP-1. Our body's already producing it to have injections. It helps your body produce GLP-1 by 67% increase it. Okay. So let me kind of show this here. This is a diagram that kind of shows GLP-1 is a hormone, just like insulin is a hormone that our body already produces. It's kind of the master switch over your metabolism. But because of all our food environment and all the modifications, we're not producing it as much. So what this does here, when you drink this Unimate in a fasted state, it will increase your GLP-1 by 67%. So why would anyone want to get on injections or take these drugs when we have a natural solution that anybody can use, even children? Okay, it's food. This is a nutraceutical, which I'm gonna talk about right now. So this is our solution. These two products. One's the fiber. All you do is take it before you eat, and the Unimate, you sip on it in your fasted state. Really simple, and it gets rid of all the cravings, the hangriness, all those things, makes you feel great. It's just easy. So like I said before, there's over 20 clinical studies. There's actually over 30. It's also HSA and FSA qualified, so people can use that to purchase it. It's a nutraceutical, not a pharmaceutical, even though it's in the physician's desk reference. The only reason it's in there is because it has the clinical studies to validate it. It's right now available in over 50 countries around the world, to be exact. It's 63, and it's patented. Nobody can copy it. So, I mean, there's no one else that can duplicate this. So they have to get it from you. Okay, reach out to us and we'll show you how to get the discount on it. But it works out to $5 a day. You use the Unimate at least twice a day and the fiber once a day. And when I saw that, I went, wow, $5 a day. I used to spend that, coffee for Starbucks. You can't get a Starbucks coffee for under $5. So, and you're not eating breakfast. So it's kind of a no-brainer. So here's how easy it is to use. All you do when you get up in the morning, you're going to mix up your Unimate, sip on it. You don't chug it. You just sip on it all morning. When you start to, want to eat something, let's say around 11 or 12 noon, you're going to mix up the fiber. If you're having a larger meal, you don't need to. You can skip that part if you want. Most of us are not even that hungry. You usually have something very small. And then after lunch, after you eat, and the biggest thing I want to talk about is at our age, and anybody over 55 needs to have protein. So when you do break your fast, to keep you in a fat burning mode, make sure you could eat good proteins, good fats, and then also if you can have a fiber, some kind of fiber, maybe some vegetables, and then have your carbs last if you're going to do that. The order counts. After lunch, mix up another Unimate and sip on it. You're not going to be snacking in the afternoon. And then just before you have your biggest meal of the day, mix up that fiber, mix it with 4 to 6 ounces of water, shake it up, and don't let it sit around. It gets really thick. You want that to happen in your stomach. And then just chug it and go eat dinner, and you don't have to worry. And it's as simple as that. 2 tools you can carry in your purse anywhere you go, and you don't have to think about it anymore. It's called food freedom. It's absolutely remarkable. So I told you earlier that we have one more story. Let me stop sharing here for a minute. And I want to share with you, then introduce John here. Not only is he my husband now, he's remarkable, but he's had an incredible life journey with different things from addiction to, and he'll talk about an accident he had at the beginning of last year. But he has been a walking testimony to what this protocol can do in so many different ways. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce John.
Oh, thanks, honey. Yeah, and you can bring up that picture a little bit later when I fast forward to 2025. But I'd
Okay.
like to first of all thank Jennifer and Debbie. You know, your stories are remarkable, and it takes so much courage. And I just applaud you, ladies, for what you're doing and how you're approaching life. So hats off to you both, and of course to you too, Monica. I'm so happy to be in your presence tonight. And so I want to share a little bit about my history growing up. I've struggled with obesity and metabolic disorder and addiction all of my life, even starting in childhood. I was raised in an alcoholic family. As a child growing up in that environment, I coped by eating. And this was in the 60s and the 70s. And if you think about what was happening in our with our food during that time, it was revolutionary. And what was revolutionary was ultra processed foods. You think about how we grew up at that time with TV dinners, I mean, mac and cheese, you name it, ultra processed, everything was just going through the roof at that time. That's how I grew up. I was obese as a kid and struggled with that all the way through my formative years, and that took a toll. I'm glad that I didn't grow up in the internet age because it would have been really tough, and I have a great appreciation for all the kids growing up fighting food addiction, um, and dealing with the bullying that goes on in the internet. I have a great sensitivity towards that. But growing up, I said in an alcoholic family, and I coped. I told myself, oh, I'll never become an alcoholic. And all through, I'd lose weight as a young adult. I was on a yo-yo, up and down. I'd gain it, lose it, gain it, lose it. And that was my pattern all the way through young adulthood. And also, my parents were smokers. My dad smoked a pipe, mom smoked cigarettes. All my childhood, I woke up to a cloud of smoke. And lo and behold, as a young adult, what I do? I started smoking. Um, of course, smoking, I thought, oh my gosh, I got to quit smoking. So I took up something just as bad, and that was chewing tobacco. So I chewed tobacco all of my adult life up to like 20 years ago. And I finally was able to quit tobacco, but the food still. And it was just like one addiction after the other. And I started college later in life, graduated, uh, came to Denver right out of grad school. I was really pumped about my new life, my new career. And I came to Denver with a master's degree in mathematics and started in aerospace. And I was just pumped. High tech. I was new to Denver. The job was stressful, but I was eating it up, and enjoying new friends here in Denver. Alcohol was a big part of that new life, and that new life turned into alcoholism. After years, I just I started drinking more, coping with the stresses of being in high tech, and lo and behold, one thing I said I would not do, seeing my father suffering from alcohol, I was an alcoholic. I denied it. I worked around it. I quit, come back, and it was just this vicious circle. And so growing up with addiction, with ultra processed foods that now are engineered by tobacco companies, they'll get you hooked. Believe me, it's called a bliss point, and they know how to do it. And I was very much, a part of that vicious circle. I met Monica in early, about 5 years ago. We started dating. You know, I saw what she was doing with this protocol, with her business and with this company. And I was very interested. And of course, at the time, I had my own management consulting business in high tech. I continued to work that business and continue to drink heavily. And then fast forward to 2025, I'd actually lost weight when Monica met me. I was pretty fit and trim, wasn't I, Monica?
Yep.
And in 2023, lo and behold, you know, I put on 20 pounds in the blink of an eye. And you can bring up that picture. And well, fast forward it now to 2025 after I'd put on a quick 20 pounds in 2023. So if you want to share that picture, um, that's me on the left in April. But what happened in January of 2025? I mean, 2025 was a pretty crazy year for me. Monica and I took an extended vacation to Costa Rica, and we were having a great time down there. We left in December for 1 month. We worked remotely down there as well. But I slipped on a wet surface and I shattered my hip. And I'll have you share a picture sometime of the X-ray. It's quite a doozy. But that's me in January in a wheelchair in San Jose, Costa Rica, getting ready to get on a plane and come back home to Colorado in a wheelchair. I was immobilized for months. By the time April came around, I was suffering from severe depression. I was drinking heavily. My stomach was just so tight. You could see that it was just so tight. I was uncomfortable with not only visceral fat, but fluid buildup from alcoholism. It's called ascites, and it's nothing you want to mess with, and it's real. And I was at a point where I was at an inflection point in my life. I just thought, man, I got to do something. I'm dying here. I am in a rapid state of decline. And it was a wake up call for me in April. And I woke up early in the morning when I took that picture on the left. That was taken about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just thought, dude, you, you have to act. You need to do something now. You need to get serious about this protocol because I saw what it was doing. I was looking over Monica's shoulders. She was showing these testimonials to her on these calls and sharing it with people. And I was going, my gosh, what am I doing here? I've got to change now. So I did. I started the protocol in April, on April 10th, my parents' anniversary. Um, and I thought of them when I started this. I thought, Mom, Dad, this is for you. I wish you would have known about this. But I was immobile when I started it. I was immobile for 6 months. Within the first 2 months, I was already down over 20 pounds. And I have dealt with a lot of nasty things, but this was one of them. But since that time, I'm just really uh, thrilled that my A1C. I was a pre-diabetic when that picture was taken, and my A1C is now down to 5.3 from 5.7, down 30 pounds. Inflammation, you could see the inflammation in my face in those pictures. I had edema in my legs, severe edema. It's gone. And it's a great system. And it's a system that works. And I just am so lucky to have found it. And I thank you, Monica, for introducing it to me because it's been a life changer for me. And so I'm just really tickled to share that story because I'm looking forward to living my life in a healthy state and not in a state of decline.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think that can resonate with many, all of us here on this today, but also many others that are going to be watching this because it's an answer. So that was a thank you, everybody, for sharing. But we're going to wrap it up. But before we do that, I just want to maybe from each of you, just a really quick sentence and tell me what the most best thing about this protocol in like a one sentence, what makes it easy for you to follow this and stick with it. I'll start with Debbie. Okay, you can go first, Jennifer. Go ahead.
One sentence. Gosh, that's hard, but I would just
Okay, two
say
sentences, just
it's
go.
a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. It's so easy. You're just dumping packets into water and drinking it. And as far as the fasting goes, it helps with all of that. And the food noise for me. Food noise is huge. So I love this product. I'll be on it forever.
I hear you. I'm the same way. It's just become like a
Yes.
lifestyle, a
Or you
lifestyle.
crave it. I crave it. So it's good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How about you, Deb?
I would say it's just really easy. I used to take a bunch of vitamins and stuff everywhere I went. We all know that, and it was a pain. Now it's just this, very easy to travel with, and a bottle. It's simple, it's easy, it's natural, it's affordable. It goes, I mean, I travel all over and it gets shipped wherever I'm at. So there's nothing like it. Nothing. And I'm very thankful and grateful.
Thank you, Debbie. How about you, John?
Yeah, I would echo that the simplicity of it. Everybody thinks something that is this effective. You have a lot of restrictions. There's no restrictions here. This is not a diet. This is going ahead with your life, but just follow the system. And the system is, I mean, the structured meal timing is something that's key. And the Unimate is fantastic. Energy, it takes away the cravings. It makes this doable, very doable for anybody.
Well, thank you. I say the same thing that everybody said here because it's easy. You don't have to think about it. It's food freedom. I haven't dieted in 3.5 years. I mean, that's unusual, you know. Anyways, I want to share one more thing here because this protocol, this company, and does some amazing things. First of all, we're anybody here that if you're watching, getting hold of us because we have a discount and we can share our discount with you. So the company does a couple of things. You can first of all use our discount to get it. So you're saving over $65 because if you go right to the company, you're paying full price. The other thing the company does though is they give you a 90-day money back guarantee. What's
Are you
really
sharing
beautiful?
us something there, Monica? Are you? I
Yeah.
see your screensaver.
Oh, thank you. I did it again.
Yeah, I thought you might be sharing some information here.
Yeah, I do. I'll
There you
back.
go.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. Duh. You don't have to be technically inclined here. But
I like your
so,
screensaver. That was pretty cool.
okay, thank you. But this here's the page. If you ask either one of us, like ask Jennifer, John, Debbie for the link, they can give you the link so that you get the same discount we get. We all pay the same price. And with the link, you're going to get around 60, it's almost $70 off. I'll show you that. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. See this little flag up here on the right? This remember we said earlier, it's in 63 countries. When you click on that flag, you can change to any country you're in, which means you can also ship it. Look at Europe. This is like insane. And the company does something pretty amazing. They give a 90-day, 100% money back guarantee. They give you an app. It's a fasting app that you can have on your phone. And all you do is you record when you drink your Unimate and balance. There's recipes on there. You can change your order, but it's really amazing. So they give you a 90-day money back guarantee. And the reason they do that is we didn't get how we are in 90 days. Sometimes it takes longer. I'm a lifer on this, but the guarantee made me really excited when I first heard about this because I've spent thousands of dollars on shakes and you name it, food delivered. No one's ever given me a guarantee. So I knew I was safe and trying, you know what I mean? So when you get to the page and you click on buy it now, you can see you get 2 boxes of the Unimate, a box of the fiber, and you can pick your flavors, so you can kind of just play around with the flavors. And they have something here. You can do a one-time purchase. You're still getting a discount because regular it's $2.35. You're only paying $1.69, but you have to pay shipping. I'm a penny pincher. I'm sorry. I like to save money anywhere I can. And by the way, it's HSA and FSA eligible, but I would recommend you do the monthly subscription. The reason being is you get free shipping. That's another $10. Plus they give you a $10 off for being on subscription, and you can cancel anytime you're not locked in. So you can do that. And then they give you free delivery, of course, but you also get this cute little hand mixer. I like free things. So you get a little cute little hand mixer when you do the subscription. So you get the bottle anyways, and then you get the little hand mixer. And that's it. And everybody, you can see this here, gets a 90-day money back guarantee. All you do is track yourself on the app, and the company says be on the app 50% of the time, and you're guaranteed. And I'm telling you, it's amazing because you're not going to have returns, or you're not going to have to return anything because you're going to fall in love with this protocol. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's really easy. And just get back with us. We'll give you the link and you can get the discount and get started with us, and you get free coaching. Tomorrow night, we're doing a science call with medical professionals. So make sure you reach out to us. We're going to get that done and just get the link. It's going to be a Zoom and you can just listen in. But that's going to be tomorrow evening. And it's going to be, what time is that? Is it 8 o'clock Eastern? Or is it? Yeah, I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern. But just ask us and we'll get you the link. But we're going to close it off now. Anybody want to say anything before we say goodbye?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. It was great.
Take control of your health.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right
thanks,
on.
Amy. Thanks,
Thank you
Monica.
for being
Thanks.
here.
Bye.
Bye.